Hello and welcome to Plastic Age Plays, our Tales of Xadia one-shot. How's it going? We are taking a bit of downtime from our regular Scarred Lands fare to try out some different games on the channel. We'll be doing this for the next several weeks, and then we'll be bringing back the original cast from Extreme Drowess and doing a few weeks of that. And then we'll be back into Scarred Lands. But in the interim, we wanted to check out Tales of Xadia, the Dragon Prince Roleplaying Game. They just released a quick start, so we're going to run that tonight. Myself and the players are obviously just as unfamiliar with it as anybody else who would have picked it up last week. So we're going to go over a little bit about the setting, a little bit about the basic rules, and then we'll just kind of dive in and figure it out as we go. I guess real quick, normally we do all of our outros at the end, but let's introduce everybody in case we have some new viewers. Let's start with Rachel. Go ahead and tell us who you are, what you do, your pronouns, who you're playing in their pronouns, please.
Hey. My name is Rachel. I go by she, her pronouns. And I will be playing one of the characters in the initial pre-gens, but Claudia is one of my favorite characters in the series. So Travis has let me sort of tinker with the Sun Elf mage so I can play a human dark mage, and I'm really excited about that.
I'm really excited too because I want to watch.
Did I miss anything, Travis?
Kill small creatures to work your magic. No, I think that covers it. I think that covered it. Not, I'm sure somebody will yell at me. But next up, Mike, go ahead and give us your pertinence, please.
Hey guys, I'm Mike Newton. I'm playing Winda today, one of the pre-gens. It's gonna be fun. A little sass and spunk today. I'm not playing this stuff, I'm drawing comics.
Sweet. Next up, Milena, give us your pertinence.
Hi guys, my name is Milena She/Her, and today I'm gonna be playing El Jao, who is he, him. And he is a Moon Shadow Elf, and he's the real babe, so I'm excited. Let's have some fun.
Excellent. And then last but most certainly not least, Sarah, give us your pertinence, please.
I am Sarah Schoenberg. I am she/her. I am playing Zanaya, who is also she/her. That's a pre-gen.
All right, and so if you are a fan of the show and you're watching this and you aren't caught up in season 3, there's going to be some mild spoilers, so maybe not watch this episode. All right, I've given everybody a chance to look away. So the story will begin. And the world of Xadia is sort of divided. There's a schism between human and elves, has been for a very long time, over the death of the King of Dragons. And this has led to warfare, this has led to people's living segregated, it's led to assassinations, all sorts of really heavy political stuff. And the conflict has been boiling over and getting worse in recent months. When our tale begins, there had recently been a sort of, battle royale between several of the nations on Xadia that had taken place at the Stormspire, a mountain deep in the Elven. And during this battle, people from pretty much all the nations, humans and elves, sort of came together to fight against the regent of Katalis, who had recently grown quite aggressive and gone a little bit one might say, a little nuts with the dark magic. He pumped up his soldiers magically and tried to ride on the elven lands. It did not go well with his forces. And in the wake of this, there have been a lot of people who sort of grouped up and just kind of either taken to wandering, maybe, they wanted to get away from their own sort of faction, their own homelands, and see something different. Maybe they found new friends, allies, maybe new enemies during this big battle. And that's kind of where our story picks up with. So this uses the Cortex system, and basically the way it works is you will create a dice pool out of a number of your traits. You can have, things like you have your basic trait ratings, and then you have assets, other things that you can add, distinctions, specialties, things along those lines that can all be added to your dice pool if they're relevant to you. No matter what the dice pool ultimately winds up being, you'll roll them all, pick 2 dice to add together, and that will be your die result. And then one of the other dice that's left behind will be your result. It's basically how strong of an effect you have gotten on them. And that one, it doesn't matter what the number you rolled is, all that matters is the number of dice in it. So the idea being maybe if you have like a D12 and something, but you only roll a 1, you can still use it as that still matters. Still has it. Does that make a certain amount of sense?
I think within play, I'll get it.
Sure. There's no hit points in this game. You have different types of stresses that you take, and as you gain stress dice, the stress dice go up. You'll hear a lot of step up and step down when we're talking about dice. So if you step up a die, you're increasing its die size. If you step down a die, you're decreasing its size. And when bad things happen to your character, you gain stress. Stress is something that the narrator himself can actually impose on you. So I can take dice from your stress die pool and use that to make a higher difficulty case. It's harder for you to do as you're suffering from stress. Make sense?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. So, the basic idea is that you got anytime you have to make a dice pool, you can grab one of your attributes, one of your values, one of your distinctions, up to 1 specialty, up to 1 asset, and an opponent's stress die. You can wind up with 6 or 7 dice. Fair, makes sense? Fair as mud?
Yeah.
You also all begin play with 1 plot point. You know that somewhere? Those give you a measure of control over your character's fate. Their luck, fortune, and narrative authority. You can tweak the results of the dice, activate special effects, things along those lines. So, if you have an SFX list on your character sheet, it might say activated by spending a PP. That's how you turn that on. You can create a temporary asset, so give yourself a bonus die by spending a PowerPoint, maybe a plot point. I want to have the high ground in this fight, so spend a plot point. A D6 die that says higher ground. You can also spend the plot point to add add another die from your pool to the. So when you roll, like if you roll 5 dice, but you wind up with 2 ones, you could pull a plot point out at another one of them. You can also do the same thing with effect dice. You can keep an extra effect die. Yeah, there's a lot of options you have in there. And like I said, it'll, I'm sure, make sense in play, and I'm sure we won't even cover all of it. So getting into the story itself, you're playing a band of adventurers, various folk who were at this battle. You all came away relatively unscathed. But separated from your own sort of contingent. And just about the time that you were kind of getting to know one another, you were approached by a moonshadow elf named Feathershaw. And they would like your group to help them out investigating an abandoned city that's floating high across the Canadians. The city itself is on an island, and that island looks like it's going to run into a mountain range. According to Feathershaw's calculations, you have about 12 hours. They can tell you that the city's name is Indian, that nobody's been in any contact with it in decades, if not centuries, and that there is an artifact there, called the Primal Well. And that's the item that Feathershaw is most interested in retrieving before the city gets destroyed. I'd like your help in doing this. And they say that, in an abandoned city, there's got to be plenty of treasures around that can be, pilfered should you desire. They just want the Primal Well. Everything else, you're welcome.
So no pressure.
Right, yeah. Just got to get in and get out of there before it crashes into the mountainside.
Yeah, right. What could go wrong?
I'm excited. There's probably all sorts of magical treasure and hidden spell books, and I'm down.
Excellent. Do you have any questions for Feathershaw before they start the journey there for you?
Is there anything that we should in particular expect?
Aside from the difficulties of it being a flying city, no. I would assume there's going to be, ancient armor, weapons, tomes of wisdom, glowing jewels, money, magical tomes, great stories and adventure. Sure, all those things will be inside the city. The coins will probably be pressed from no nation that still stands, but I'm certain the gold in them is. But as to what is there beyond the Primal Well, I can't say for certain.
Well, today's as good as any day to die, so why not?
Oh, we're not gonna die. We'll be fine.
Okay.
And Feathershaw walks outside with you, and you step out. The sun's just going down, and Feathershaw opens their cloak. They have this cloak that's kind of wrapped in like what appear to be like phoenix feathers. And they open the cloak wide, and you see a moonbeam like shoot down out of the sky, hit the ground before you, and then shoot up through the air off in the direction of the mountain. And just step on, it'll be fine.
You first, pointing at Melena's character.
I step on it.
Excellent. Yeah, you jump up on it, and it's.
But as I do it, I'm like, I turn around, like, and like just like look at Winda, and like land on Mike.
And it's rock solid, and you can feel. It doesn't move you against your will, but you can feel like inertia underneath your foot. If you just decided to go along for the ride, it would take you quite a speed.
Awesome.
Everybody hopping aboard?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm totally thrilled to be here. This is cool. This is an adventure. I like adventures.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'll hop on.
You hop aboard and start just sailing through the sky, super fast. It looks like you're covering probably hundreds of miles. And about 5 minutes into the ride, you look up and you do see, in fact, a large floating, looks like an island floating in the air. You're at this point a couple of miles off the ground. And just a cloud kind of floats past it. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. Like the first thing you notice as you're looking it over is it looks like it's in pretty good shape for a place kind of thing. Like you don't see a lot of like broken down ruins. Everything looks to be pretty well kept.
Neat.
Well, can we get like a grasp of like where it was to go from this point?
Yeah, I mean, you can see right where it's going to land. There's like the moonbeam itself ends just on what looks like a brick paved street, and you hit the ground with a loud whoop, and the bands of magic kind of come up out of the moonbeam itself and just start sort of swirling around Feathershell. And for a moment, you get a little, almost like seasick, as there is a bit of rocking to flotation. And as you're looking around, the first impression that you get of the place being in good repair holds true now that you're close. The streets are clean. You do see a couple of buildings that look like the windows have been boarded up, but that looks like a recent development. That looks like windows were boarded up in the last couple of ages.
There's no sense of life.
Looks like people, well, I mean, it looks like the streets have been swept. Looks like there are, you don't see anyone immediately, but you do hear, like, as a chicken pokes its head out around a building.
Does anyone have a fear of chickens?
No.
That's good. It would be a
I mean,
problem.
not like immediately. They can be pretty mean though.
Oh, I think it's cute.
Yeah, it runs right over to you and like pecks the ground in front of you and looks up and goes, "Huh?" And
Oh, we should feed it.
Feathershall raises an eyebrow, looks down at the chicken, and says, "That's interesting," and then begins casting a spell. And as they start casting, you can see this purple energy sort of pull in tight to them and then circle a few times before going out through their fingertips and shooting down the street.
That's so cool.
As you see that thing, you hear a child's voice. "Wiggy, Wiggy, where are you?" Over his shoulder. What's that?
It's a good thing I didn't shoot the chicken.
I was gonna eat that kid's chicken.
Just unbolts a crossbow bolt from my crossbow and just puts it away.
Yeah, this kid comes around the same corner. She looks pretty young. She's 9, 10 maybe. She goes, "Oh my goodness, what are you all doing here? I never seen none of you before."
Well, hi there. Do you live here?
"I do. Well, I live over there," she points it. "Come here, Wiggy." And she bends down and picks the chicken up. The chicken lays an egg.
Point of clarification. Were we led to believe that this place is abandoned?
You were led to believe this place is abandoned.
So I kneel in front of the girl and I'm like, "Are you here all by yourself?"
Well, I mean, I'm here all by myself. But my house is right over there. Just around the corner.
Are there other people in your house?
Yes. It would be weird if I lived all alone. I'm just a kid.
Well, that's why I was asking.
And at this time, you now see more townsfolk starting to make their way onto the street. Many of them are looking at this magical effect that's blasting down the middle of the main street. Feathershall has not stopped casting. And they look kind of alarmed, kind of upset by what's going on.
Hi. We didn't know anyone was here. Wow, there's a lot of people here. We're here to help.
Yes,
Yeah, I got nothing.
Of course. What is going on here? And you hear a man's voice kind of come out of the crowd. Man walks out. Skywing elf. Most of the people up here are Ruby Sky. Though most of them do not have wings. He's wearing a gray vest, white shirt, black pants, and walking with a staff. Looks like he's probably in his. What's the meaning of all this? What is this magic? What are you doing here? Who are you people?
Oh,
We are here to help.
we didn't think anyone lived here.
Could you please stop that? He says. Feathershall just ignores him. He says, "Well, yes, many people live here. I am Nosix. I am the keeper of our library. Why you came here, but you thought no one was here? Why?"
Well, did you know that your island is going to crash into the side of a mountain?
you hear like half the townspeople go, "Oh!" and like look over, like frightened.
So we're here because of that.
Seems like the kind of thing you would notice.
Possibility had crossed my mind, but I didn't want to panic the townsfolk.
So you were just going to let them die in their sleep.
I have means of addressing it if your friend would stop mucking up the works with their magic.
We don't really tell her what to do. She kind of hired us, so... Feathershell, they seem nice.
Can't talk right now.
Whose house is that boarded up?
He looks over. Oh, that belonged to Wilkins. Terrible tragedy.
Oh,
How
like,
terrible.
is this what you signed up for? I don't think it is.
What is it?
Hey,
I don't think this is what we signed up for.
so, I would like to, use power on my sheet.
Okay.
It is an asset. It is called Verum Animo, Sense Truth of the Heart.
Oh.
I don't know exactly what it does, but based on the title, I can guess.
So what you would need to do is, what process are you going to use to cast your spell? Where are you going to get that magical energy from?
Yeah, so my character, I should come up with a name for her. I will name her Janine. That's
Excellent.
a good name.
Nina's a good name.
Yeah, so Janine travels with like a big satchel, and you would probably have noticed her like catching little lightning bugs in jars and doing stuff like that. So she will go over to one of the jars and open it just enough to hold a lightning bug, and she'll sort of just start grinding it between her fingers. So the light will go out and sort of absorb into her hands. And her eyes probably glow a little bit as she does this. And so then she'll turn back to the, mayor, I guess?
Yes, this
Lord Prim.
Gnostic's fellow. He said he's the keeper of the library.
Yeah, and I will tell him, we're here to help, and we can help you evacuate all the people here, all the things you have.
I'm looking like at the side out of my eye to her, like, how are we gonna do that? I don't say that, but just kind of like.
All right, so why don't you roll to cast the spell? You can take your truth value,
Okay.
your mage distinction.
Right, truth value, mage distinction. Where would I find my mage distinction?
Where it'll say Sun Mage on the sheet. That'll be the right set because you're a Dark Mage, so you'd have the same.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then your magic specialty.
Okay, it looks like this is so far giving me 3d8.
Yep, and then you'd add the spell as well, which is an d8. And I will roll.
So that would be 4d8 then, if I'm reading everything correctly?
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah, I get the first roll of the game. Okay. So do I just add them up, or...
So you pick two of them to add.
Okay.
And then you will pick... one of them will be your effect die. So since they're all d8s, just pick whichever one rolled lowest to be your effect die. Because
Okay,
what
so-
you roll on the effect die doesn't matter. The number of sides on it is what matters.
Okay,
But if you rolled a 1 in any dice, you can't use that die, right?
That might be correct. Probably correct.
Because it's called like a hitch or something. If you roll a 1, that dice is dead.
that is important because I did in fact roll a 1.
Yep. Yeah, you have to set hitches aside. They can't be included in the total and count as 0.
Okay. So, I rolled a 6, a 4, and a 3 apart from the 1.
Okay, so you could add the 2 highest of those.
Alright, so the 6 and 4 together to get 10. And then I guess the 3 becomes the effect die?
Right, but the result of the die doesn't matter, just the sides. So your effect die is a D8.
Oh, okay.
He rolled a 16. Also an effect die of D8. So, he looks at you and like raises an eyebrow and says, "It's been a very long time since I've even heard of someone using dark magic."
Oh, isn't it so cool? I really love all the power, and all the secrets. Like, it's amazing, isn't it?
I whisper to Ajal, I'm like, Samiri, he just totally ignored the question about what happened to Wilkins.
Wilkins had a dire accident. If it's knowledge you seek, wizard, I can provide it. But first, I must insist your friend stop this meddling with our magic.
I don't honestly. I don't even know what she's doing. Like, is there a way to tell what she's casting?
You could try to make a. I would say be your mage distinction. It would probably be mastery would be your value. And you could use your magic specialty.
All right, so that would be 1d6 and 1d8.
A d6, a d8, and then whatever your mastery is a 6, right? So it'd be a 6 and 2d8 because you have the mage and the mage distinction and the magic specialty.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so I rolled an 8, a 5, and a 2, so I'm gonna add the 8 and the 5 together for 13. And then I rolled the 2 on the d8, so I will make that my effect die.
Alright. They only rolled a 6. Or an 11. They rolled an 11. What was your highest number?
I rolled an 8 and a 5.
Okay. So they also activate, or I will activate, the hitch that you roll. So you may take an extra plot point because I added an extra d8 to my roll to resist. But you still succeed, as your result was a 13, mine was an 11. So you're able to tell that this spell seems to be designed toward locating and interfacing with another magical. So, almost like detect magic at a distance.
Okay. Probably not too weird of an assumption that she is looking for the primal well.
Safe to say yes.
I'm sorry?
It's safe to say.
Yeah. Okay, so I will turn back to my new friends. Hi, new friends. Be like, should we tell them what we're here to find?
it could either help us get there faster, or it could be really bad. So I'd say don't help and just go sneaking around looking for it. But maybe that's just me. Winda, what do you say?
Yeah, I kind of feel that way as well. That could go really bad.
This guy lied about this place being abandoned, and now he's just looking for this primal well thing. So I think we're just being pulled around. I don't know what's going on.
Fair point. Maybe we should mention it.
What happened to Wilkins?
We should make it clear that we were hired to do this thing, and we're not sure about it now.
I mean, you're not sure about it now.
You hear one of the townsfolk, the Skywing Elf woman, say, if there's a collision imminent, then perhaps we should try to make some sort of plan, some sort of evacuation. Another one's like, I don't even know how we would go about that. What are we going to do, jump off the side?
How fast is this floating island moving?
It doesn't feel fast, like, while you're on it. But as you, look over at, the tree line, it occurs to you you're really zipping. When this thing hits the mountainside, it's not going to be...
It's not going to, nudge.
And, in fact, why don't you go ahead and... why don't you all go ahead and roll your mastery, and then any dice that might involve noticing things, movement, feelings, punches.
I have Elf Grace. It says, test, contest, challenge that factors your elven speed and balance, but I don't think that would count.
Your sense of balance would matter, yeah. Go ahead. Include that.
Yeah?
I've only got the one, so I just roll the one die.
My mastery is a D8 of survival skills or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then I have an awareness of 10. And I also have Keen Eye, so I can spend a power point to double your awareness into my dice pool. So can I do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So just two D10s for that awareness then?
Yep.
Okay.
And
I'm going to add my mastery to my awareness.
Okay.
Can I roll my awareness?
You can.
So one thing on my sheet, it's under a distinction. Simplicity is the best solution. Spend a plot point and either gain a D8 asset or step up an existing asset when undertaking a challenge because of your keen insight.
Okay.
So, would it make sense for my character to look around at all the disparate things going on and arrive at some sort of conclusion about what?
Absolutely, yeah. So you can spend the plot point and then take that dice up one step.
So I got 5, 4, and 2.
Okay. And Sarah, you'd asked about awareness. Yeah, if you have awareness, you can roll that as well.
Numbers now or doing
Go ahead and give me just the total of your two highest dice.
I only rolled 2.
Okay. What'd you get? 10?
I did not roll at all well. I got a 6.
Excellent.
Yeah, so
And I got a 9 on mastery, a 2 on Elf Grace, and I hitched on awareness.
Okay. Excellent.
yeah, then it's the 2 highest die, then I got a 9.
All right, and then what does that leave you for an effect die, if any?
11.
What? No, what die size is left over? Your biggest die. You have different size dice, right? How many sides?
Oh, right. So my one die was 8, my mastery die was 10, and then the hitch dice was at 8. So that was the one. Yeah.
Right. All right. Okay, so Basically, the only person who doesn't notice this. Well, you all clock that you're going pretty fast. Rachel, you're not able to assemble all these disparate things into something that has a solid meaning to it. You know what I mean? It's a lot of chaos. We didn't know what was going on. Maybe the other Shaw didn't know what was going on. There's so much to figure out, and we certainly don't have long. And your total, Sarah, once again, was a 9? 10. So you gather, aside from the chaos that's going on, you can also tell that your speed has increased since you landed. And you're pretty sure that whatever Feathershall is doing with that spell is contributing.
We're moving faster.
They mostly.
They them? Okay.
Yeah.
I think they're doing it.
Should we just shoot them?
But they're not here, right? They just sent us here, so we can't.
No, they rode along and are standing there.
They're right there.
They're casting the spell right next to you.
I misunderstood.
Yep. No, they rode along.
Do they have to concentrate to do this? Can I just shove them?
You can try it.
I don't know if I want to.
I'll shoot it. I'll shoot them.
All right.
You'll shoot them? I was gonna just shove them. Jesus.
I'm gonna shoot them in the shoulder.
Oh yeah.
I'm making this face at you as you do this.
All right. So what distinction, trait, and value, and specialty, and asset would you like to use? Shoot this person in the shoulder.
I assume since it's a crossbow, it'd probably be agility, right?
That's fair.
Or strength. And then maybe maybe mastery, another D8, and then keen eye again. And then I have a light crossbow, so would I roll all that together?
Yep, you grab all those dice, you roll them together, and you add the higher two.
You add,
and then you pick the highest die type. It's not one of those two dice. You can't. They don't have to be the highest two dice. So, for example, if you have, if you rolled 3 6s and 2 of them were on D6s and one of them was on a D10, you can take the 2 D6s and make the D10 your effect. Sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So it looks like I'm rolling all D8s. 1, 2, 3. And then do I roll my? I roll my ass at the same time, right?
Yep, all of it goes into one big pool.
Okay, so I think it's 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so 4 D8s. That's not very good. My highest ones were a 5 and a 3, so I bring it to an 8. Then I guess I hitched one of them. I got a 1, and then my other one is a 2.
Okay.
So yeah, 8, and then I got a 1, and I got a 2.
All right, and what's your effect die?
My effect die?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? Oh, I think they're all 8s.
All right, so. All right, so you fire, and Feathershall moves their hand over, and the beam of energy that's coming out reforms from that beam into a shield, and blocks the bolt. As soon as this happens, the entire city kicks over to the side about 10 degrees. And everyone sort of goes, oh! The chicken goes, and drops to their head.
Can I try to convince them to stop?
Yeah, how would you like to go about that?
I want to try to, or you want me to tell you what I want to use?
Yeah.
Influence. Yeah.
Okay.
And diplomacy?
Okay. So you may view those.
Okay. So how does this work when I actually have 3 things to roll?
So you roll those dice. You
I roll the 1, so that one goes bye-bye.
right. Any ones you remove, and you add. You can add up to 2 of the remainders without spending any plot points, and then you want to leave 1 die. 1 die needs to be left over for your effect die, unless you only have 1 die.
I only have 2 dice.
Okay, so then you'll.
1 goes bye-bye.
So after the 1 goes bye-bye, you'll want to leave 1 for your effect.
Okay,
You just
so
take the highest die.
The higher one is a 10. The lower one is a D8. That's what you want to know, right?
Yep. Those are the important bits. Okay. And you're trying to convince them to stop casting?
Yeah. I'm trying to convince them to stop casting at least long enough to talk about what's happening.
Yeah, they stop the spell and say, "What is this about? I brought you here to help me."
You're going to crash it into the mountains. That is not what we thought was happening.
You all start shaking more as the city is rumbling. Feathershaw says, "Maybe you should let me keep casting my spell." He starts to walk off, headed into the city.
What?
I will follow Feathershaw and be like, okay, no, look, we're all here to help, and there's all these innocent people here, and we just can't let them crash into the mountain and die, and we're here to help you because you asked us, and so you just, please tell us what you're doing and why so we can help you, and we can help them, and we can, all go home happy.
Why don't you make a devotion-based roll, and then you can add whatever other traits you might think are appropriate.
Can I help Janine and say, yeah, why don't you tell us what's going on? And I put my blade of my staff on Feathershaw's throat and get my face up real close. It's why don't you tell us what's going on?
Sure, but you'll be rolling strength, and then whatever else you want to try to squeeze in there.
I want to get them distance and flank him from the side or whatever, but enough away, where if he's blast, I won't be in the radius.
You're flanking Feathershaw?
Yeah, just to get some answers.
But you're not involving yourself in the interrogation.
No, I'm at a distance, just pointing my crossbow.
All right, and what are you doing while this is going on, sir?
Who?
You. What are you doing, sir?
I guess I'm just gonna hold off. I don't know what the hell was happening.
Right, that all went sideways.
So I have a D6 for influence, so I'm going to add that to my pool. So I'm rolling 2d6.
All right.
Seven, a 4, and a 3.
Okay. And all you have is, you don't have any other dice left over? So what would be a 4 with a D6 as your effect die?
Yes.
All right, and then What did you get, Elena?
I was thinking about rolling strength, my elven sword staff, which is an asset that I have, and then justice and truth.
You have to pick one of them.
Okay, so I'll do justice because it's higher.
Okay.
All right. So my justice is a 6, my strength is an 8, and the elven sword staff is an 8. Okay, so I'm gonna roll now. And then 2. So I got a 4 and a 5 and a 2, so I'm gonna add my 5 and the 2, and then I'll use a D8 for the whatever thing that we need to do. What's it called?
Oh, the
yeah. Instead of picking the effect die, yeah. Instead of picking the 2 highest die, I will pick the 6 and the 8 together, and then my 8 will be the effect die. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
So, Rachel, you will gain. I also forgot to give you because you didn't succeed with your spell earlier. You should take a D6 corruption.
Oh.
Rachel. And I'm sorry, a D4 corrupted and a D4 of right now probably insecure because Feathershall is basically ignoring you.
Okay. Sounds good.
And you should probably take a D4 angry, Mike, from missing.
So how do the stress mechanics work?
So I can use them against you.
Mm-hmm.
You can step them down either through rest or through certain effects. Certain successes will step them down. Like if you can create a situation that goes against that stress, and sometimes step them down. But it's mostly through rest, and they can be activated again. If you take the same kind of stress again, it steps up by 1. If you go above a D12 in any kind of stress, you're taken out.
I rolled a 1 on that anger.
Oh, you don't need to roll it. That's just on you now.
Oh, okay.
Keep track of that. So while that conversation is going on, and Feathershall does stop and kind of looks at you and says, "What is it that you want?"
Know what you're doing so we can help you. Like, what was that spell that you were casting that was freaking everybody out?
I was trying to find the primal well. If we can get to it soon enough and unseat it from its place of holding, and slow the city down enough that it will possibly survive the close.
Okay. Let's go
Do you
then.
just believe them? It was speeding up the island. I'm like looking straight at you, Janine. Janine. Eyes like 1, 2, 3 eyes on me.
I mean, it sounds accurate. I will continue to follow Feathershall because I totally failed on my roll, and I completely trust them right now.
Hey, where's your primal well?
While you're shouting, "Hey, where's your primal well?" and Melina standing there just down on the floor. So Sarah, you were kind of hanging back still. Nozzix walks up to you, the man who came up and started yelling at Feathershall, and says, "You seem like good people who are here with an intention of helping, and you seem to be a little more level-headed than some of your companions. If you'd like to come with me, I believe I can help with this situation. Help you help it. You can bring your associates if you want.
I'm gonna walk over to them, and I'm gonna I don't know, whistle or something.
All right.
Say, to break them up.
All right. So you're staring, and is it Witta? I'm terrible with names. So Mike is.
I'm Winda.
Hey, where's your deeper well? Where's your primal well? And Rachel's kind of walking off. So you whistle. What's everyone do when they hear this like high pitched shrill whistle?
I will look over, but I will continue to follow Feathershaw.
I'm going towards Sarah's character. What's your character name again, Sarah? Sorry.
Benaya.
Was it?
Benaya. Benaya.
Benaya.
Oh, we're like friends on backstory, so yeah, I'll just follow you.
And I will kind of whip my staff around a little bit and cross my arms and then follow them because I'm so done with whatever this shit is. What is wrong with Janine?
Right, I'm gonna shout over to Janine and be like, "This is your chance to come with us, otherwise we'll see you on the flip side." I don't know what to tell you. I don't know where we're going. I don't know when we're going or when we're coming back.
Wait, where are you going?
I forgot their name.
Nosix. You see the old man with the staff kind of wave?
I should probably go with Feathershaw.
He waves again.
Both these guys got seriously bad guy mojo.
Nosix says, "Thank you. Please, this way." And he starts leading you through the town.
I didn't get any of that.
Oh, Nosix says, "Thank you." And then he says, "Please, this way." And starts leading you through the town. As you're walking through the town, you hear a couple of people talking about different escape plans. You hear one woman appears to be a mage of some sort, probably a Skyway mage, and she says, "I think if we work together, we can build enough hang gliders to get us down." And somebody's like, "It'll take us days." They're shouting back and forth about different escape plans. Nosix just kind of shakes his head and keeps watching.
Maybe if you tell. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I lean over to the dude that's guiding us. You have 12 hours, right?
Probably 11 now.
Nosix says, "At our current speed, I figure we have about
2 hours."
I'm gonna turn around and leave.
Just bail now.
We had 12 hours.
I feel like I stopped walking when he said that, and then I take it off.
Maybe tell us where your primal well is at, so we can get there before he does, and then we can probably solve what our problem is before he gets there.
He says, I'm taking you to the primal well.
Okay, great.
They'll get there on their own, I'm sure.
Where am I going?
You walk into.
I kind of leave. I can't. Go on.
You walk into Nosix's home. Kind of this large building in the center of town. Looks like definitely a library, and he appears to live in an attached, almost like a rectory that's next to it. But he walks in and grabs a pot off of the stove and sets it off to the side, and steaming. Smells like some sort of a stew, and he starts spooning some up into bowls and passing them out.
Oh, it's not the time for food. What is this?
He says, "You don't want to try to save the town on an empty stomach, do you?"
What? What kind of nightmare world is this?
Right? I would like, okay, I have a bowl, like, and I was like, sniff it, and then like I will find a plant. Just go, delicious, and then back.
Sure.
In front of him too, like he saw it.
No, because I have a sneaking specialty.
He says, I've spent a long time as the keeper of the well, and it's a great responsibility that I take very seriously. But how is your stew? Are you enjoying it? Like froze on us. Just as you were getting animated, you totally froze. What was it?
I'm just like looking around in disbelief, and I'll just like try it just to like humor him so he can just like hurry this up.
I mean, it's pretty decent soup. What are you doing amid all this, Sarah?
I think I'm just gonna kind of like stir it around and look at it. I don't know.
He keeps talking about his time spent as the keeper of the well, and he says, "I understand, that our circumstances are dire, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. Like touching the well. The well needs a keeper. Its power necessitates it. You need to have guidance to touch it. I can't. If I were to touch it, I would turn to dust." You sip of his food. And while he's doing that and you're sitting there, across town, you and Feathershaw are sneaking your way over to the toward the same building, large building in the center of town. Feathershaw says, "Thank you for."
I just sort of. Yeah, so, and I just start peppering Feathershaw with questions. So what even is a primordial well? Like, it sounds like it's really powerful. I bet it's really powerful. What are we gonna do when we find it? Did you really expect it, that nobody lived here? Because, that's a huge failure of intelligence gathering right there.
Feathershaw sighs and says, "Okay. That man with the elaborate facial tattoos, he apparently is the keeper. The city's moving a little faster than I thought. And there seems to be a few more people here than I expected. But at the end of the day, none of that changes what I need to get the artifact."
Well, I mean, once we get the artifact, can't we somehow use it? Because it sounds like it's pretty powerful. We should be able to use it to get all these people somewhere safe or slow down the city.
I mean,
right?
Yes, I suppose we could do those too. Listen, the collision probably won't be fatal.
Okay. I mean, like, people will still get hurt. Like, what about the babies? Babies are pretty fragile.
I mean, let the moms worry about that? Is that a mom worry? That seems like a mom worry. I'm not anyone's mom. Not my worry.
It's clearly the bad guy.
Janine. I mean, I already failed my rules, so Janine's like, okay. Well, I'm gonna follow you anyway. Because I'm pretty sure that once we achieve what you want, like, we can save everybody. And I'm probably very wrong about this, that my character will feel really bad, like, tomorrow. If she's alive.
There's not going to be a tomorrow for you.
You're probably not. It's okay. I knew what I was signing up for when I asked Travis for the Claudia character.
Back across town, Nosix takes the final sip of his stew. As well, I guess that means we should move. Right this way. And stands up and moves a book on his bookshelf and steps over into a hidden stairway is revealed. There's if you look ahead, you'll see a stairwell. It goes right up to a translucent, glowing blue wall of magic. He says, Primal Well is behind that.
Man, they went in a completely different direction. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're probably not going to find it so much. But what I would like one of you to do, we have managed to build a suit of armor that should protect you from the magic that is emanating from this device. I need one of you to go in there and pick it up. I wasn't being hyperbolic earlier. I took an oath that if I ever touch it, I will turn into dust.
So you need us to go get the armor that's next to
I
it?
have the armor right here. He pulls like a tarp. You see like this shiny, silvery armor with different blue glowing stones inlaid in it. Really nice piece of work.
You guys are both magic users, right?
No.
Oh, no? They have magical things, like powers, though, right?
Mm-mm. No, I'm just like a sword fighter, like with my staff.
So
Yeah, but you got abilities. You have that moon.
Basic moon magic, but nothing.
Like, I'm a shadow elf, but I don't have any spells or anything.
No, basically, so you will probably be more useful should this go wrong. So I think I should probably do it because all I got is a crossbow.
Like, I'm thinking he should probably do it.
He can't do it, apparently. He said he can't do it.
Why can't you do it?
I can't touch
turn to
it.
Dust.
I'll turn to dust.
Took an oath.
So, but what if you wear the armor?
The nature of my oath doesn't care about whether I'm wearing a glove.
So, the oath you took makes you turn to dust if you touch this well?
Well, no, if I touch the...
I just start putting on
if
the
I
armor.
touch the primal well, yeah.
We have an hour and a half.
I'm just trying to figure this guy out.
I'm just going to put it on. I'm probably doesn't think I'm like a 13-year-old girl or whatever the hell this is, but I'm just going to put this on.
It's going to look really big on you. Like you're wearing your dad's shoes.
Yeah.
Why don't you make a... you're trying to get him to sort of, trying to catch him up. Why don't you go ahead and make a truth-based roll?
Me?
Yeah.
So a truth, which is a 4 for me.
And then you can add any distinctions, specialties, or assets that apply.
Intellect or influence? Or awareness? Awareness.
What?
And yeah, I don't think. What's a song for all occasions? I have that as a distinction, but I don't know what that means.
Oh, it means that like you can come up with some way to cheer people up, or you have stories. You have entertaining. You have ways of entertaining.
Oh, so I'm like a bard.
Almost, yeah.
Okay. All right. So I guess I'll roll truth and awareness. And then, so both added up. So I got a 3 and a 7.
All right. But you only have the 2 dice?
Yeah, I guess I'm just rolling awareness and truth, unless I roll.
So you would want to take the higher one and make that your result, and then the other one be your effect die.
Yeah, so that's a 7, and then the other one is a 4 for the truth. That is the effect.
All right. So he sort of shrinks a little bit as you're questioning him. And he says, listen, I've known for some time that the city might collide with the mountains. It's become something of an obsession to try to find a way to stop it. Unfortunately, there is no way to stop it. So the next best option for the legacy of this city to survive is to turn the wall out. As I said, my oath prevents me from doing so, and the magics on it prevent most people from. You had asked what had happened to Roku. He and several of the others helped in the creation of this cuirass. You see the armor that you're putting on. You're like in the middle of putting this armor on.
Yeah.
It took a long time to perfect that armor, and the tests that were not successful have left those heroic volunteers in a bit of a state. Unfortunately, there's nothing that can be done for them.
Yeah, I'm just putting this armor on. Okay, so what do I gotta do then? Because we have, limited time.
Oh, go ahead and pick it up.
Yeah, once it's all on, I'll go attempt to pick it up.
Okay, you have finished strapping the armor on and are making your way into the chamber. Meanwhile, across the way, Rachel, you and Feathershaw have made your way over to the building. Have snuck down toward the bowels and are about to. Looks like Feathershaw's about to open some sort of a magical, secret door.
I am enraptured by this. I watch everything that they're doing.
And as soon as they finish making their gestures, you see this doorway start to open. On the other side of the door is this large blue crystal, sort of spinning, hovering through. However, like about half of the stones in the floor beneath you spring to life, fly up to about waist high, and begin to attempt to attack.
Half of the what?
The stones from the floor itself.
Oh. Okay then.
Like float up and start flying at you. So I would like you to try to make a test to see if you can dodge them and get into the room without getting hurt.
Yeah. What would that roll be like?
Well, I would assume you're probably going to use like agility, maybe, unless you want to use some kind of magic to protect you.
Well, so I have a Ring of Shadow.
You could try that.
I don't know if that would help.
You could try that. That's
okay.
One thing. You give it a shot. So yeah, go ahead and give me an intellect. So it'd be intellect, mage, your magic specialty, and your spell.
Okay. So, intellect, mage, specialty, and then what else? Was there another else?
Intellect, mage, specialty, your spell asset. That should be 3d8 and a d10 so far.
Yes.
And then, which of your values would you say you're applying here? I would say it sounds like
probably devotion.
Devotion or mastery, but
I'll go with devotion because she's preoccupied with her greater purpose, which is learning more magic, so she cannot get winged by rocks.
Right, that's fair.
Yeah. Cool. And so for her casting, she pulls her jar of lightning bugs out and just shakes it so they all die. And so the lights in their thorax sort of forms a little darkness that bleeds out from the jar to hopefully form the circle. She probably gets more white in her hair, too. Oh, that was not a good roll. I got a hitch on a d8.
Yeah.
And then picking 2, I rolled a 9.
Right.
But I have a 4 left over on my d10 for an effect die.
Okay. Excellent. So your total was 9 and your d10 is your effect die?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So as these things come up and like Feathershaw's sort of batting them away and like blowing wind at them to back them off, and you're like diving through them, not even so much diving as much as like you crush the lightning bugs and then hold your hands out, and this dark shadow sort of surrounds you in a bubble and just sort of melts them away as you walk through. They fall into like cold dead ash as you make your way into the chamber itself. What's that?
Probably put some of the ash in the jar with the dead lightning bugs. I don't know. That's pretty cool what they did.
You scoop it up, yeah. Might come in handy later. While you're doing that across the way, so Witta's getting ready to walk in. Are the two of you doing anything to affect this, to interject, to deal with dude? You're just watching.
Yeah.
I'm just like huffing in my oversized armor, just gonna try and yoink that thing and get out of here.
I'm just paying close attention to what's happening.
Right? You step through. I would like you to make an agility-based test to see if you step on any of the traps that have not yet been activated.
An agility roll?
Yep.
Okay.
You can add, if you have traits that might go and get...
How many...
What's up?
How many power plot points do we get? Do we just get the one, or...
You start with 1 plot point.
Okay, sorry to use mine, right. So just I have specialties in tracking and climbing. Should I add a tracking roll? So check for, like, traps?
Tracking probably wouldn't apply because that's like following something's trails. Like nobody's walked through here in some time. Well, you know what? Actually, yeah, you could actually apply tracking because people have walked through here. So,
Okay.
Yeah, see where people have not stepped and, have stepped and gotten hurt. And not stepped
So I'll roll 3d8s again for my mastery, for my survival skills.
Right.
These are terrible. Oh my god. I got my highest rolls, 6 and a 2, so that's 8, and then I hitched the O die. They're all
Right.
D8s.
Alright, so what's your highest die if you leave the other D8 for an effect die?
My highest die is a 6.
That's good enough. You step through without kicking off any traps. And you look across the room and you see this ball of shadow sort of recede and reveal your friend standing on the other side of the primal wall.
Jacques!
Oh, hey guys!
You picked the wrong guy to bet on! Trying to grab this thing. Clearly bad, just saying. He's got bad energy all over him. Bad guy.
Alright, so you can run up and grab it?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're all still on the same side, so I'm not going to interfere with that.
Jesus. I'm just like leaning against the door with like my staff in my hand, just like watching this shit.
Shaking your head.
Yeah. Like
Alright.
children,
As soon as you touch the well, there is a wave of energy that goes through the room. And I would like both of you to roll against a trap that is mind affecting, so intellect or agility be appropriate for you.
That's the me?
You and me both.
Okay, so intellect or agility?
Yep, and then associated skills.
So for value? Huh.
Yeah, don't forget, Mike, you can always work a value into your roll.
Value. Oh yeah, I've been doing that. My mastery. Yeah, I've been doing that.
So I'm going to go with truth. I've seen so many truths that I hardly know my own.
Okay.
Or others.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So intellect plus value.
Maybe
This trap is magical, so your mage distinction.
maybe
Okay.
justice or
Yeah, justice could work. Like you want to see you don't want to see bad things happen to the people, so getting this thing out is
okay. Okay, that's pretty good, I think. So I rolled a 6 and a 4. The 6 is on a D8. The 4 is on a D6.
I'm rolling so badly. I got another hitch, and I rolled a 9 and a 2, so that's an 11.
All right. Do you have does that leave a result die?
No, because I only rolled 3.
Right. So you got a 9, and then what's the D of the you came up on?
8.
I'm going to go ahead and say that your corruption is making it hard for you to see through this. I'm going to add the corrupted die to the effect here.
Oh, goodness.
All right. So that's a total of 15 that we got. You did not beat it. Your corrupted die steps up by 1. You gain D4 afraid stress as your arms and legs switch spots with him.
Wait, me?
No. I mean, you're standing on your arms and your legs are up here by your torso.
Wait, what?
Your arms and legs have switched spaces. What did you get in your total?
Me here.
Yeah.
I got a total of 10.
Okay. You also, as you pick up the well, you're holding it with your feet.
Okay. Wait, does my D4 of anger come into this at all either?
No, no, because I haven't used it.
Okay.
I'm just looking at like.
And you'll probably,
whoa, dude.
Your anger will probably step up to a D6 because your feet are on your hands. What the hell?
Okay, so I got a D6 of anger now. Okay. That's to the side. All right, I'm gonna try in a handstand run away, flopping this thing with my feet, hands.
Excellent. I'm going to need you to make agility roll to get out of the room without stepping on a worse trap. And I'm going to use your anger against you. Which is now a D6.
So add D6 to this roll, right?
Yep. And you can clearly see, Janine, that you see Winda yoink the stone as you step into the room.
Can I assist Winda?
If you run in there and try to help, yeah.
I rolled pretty good on the agility. I got an 8 and a 7. My lowest roll was a 3. And then I got a 4 on the anger die.
No, you don't need to roll the anger. I added it to your opposition.
Oh, you do that.
Yep.
Okay.
So what was your total?
My total on agility, the 3 rolls, right? All 3 of them?
No, the 2 dice, the 2 highest.
The 2 highest ones? I got 15.
All right, yeah. So you're booking out of there. What were you going to do to try to help, Melina?
I was gonna try to scoop Winda up, but she's got it. So
yeah, you can certainly reach in and pull her out of the room. Now, what are you doing as Winda starts taking off out of the room?
Janine.
I'm really confused now that my limbs have switched. So, my first assumption is this is some weird magical field. I'm going to try and leave the field.
Right? Are you backing out, or are you going toward where Winda went?
I think backing out.
Okay. You back out, and you find Feathershaw climbing out from underneath a pile of stones. As soon as you get out of the hallway, past that secret door that you opened, your limbs go back to where they're supposed to.
Oh, yay!
Same thing happens. You pull Winda across the threshold, and all the limbs are back where they were supposed to.
Oh, thank God. I think I was stuck with it forever. That would have sucked.
Now, important to note, those of you outside that room didn't see anything happen to Winda, besides, panic. You didn't see Winda's limbs shift. You just saw Winda start.
I will.
And you did see Janine come on the other side of it.
I will help Feathershaw out from under the rubble.
And you reached out to give Feathershaw a hand, and the entire city lurches again. I need everyone to make an agility-based roll real quick. See if you can keep your footing.
I need more dice in real life. Oh my god, these are bad.
You can add
5 and a 3. It's the
skills
1.
you have to it.
So I basically got like an 8, and I hitched another die. They're all d8s.
Alright. I'm adding my glory. 9 and a 4, 13.
I don't think I have anything other than
Okay. Great agility roll is fine.
this 3.
You definitely fall to the ground and take 1 injured stress.
I got 16.
You are fine, and in fact, you're so fine you could catch your friend there, Vinaya, and prevent them from taking their injured stress. If you
I catch them like, what? Like under the armpits.
Thanks.
And what was your result, Janine?
13.
Okay, yep, you're good. None of you get hurt, but the city lurches pretty violently, much more than when the effect happened before. And bad name day. Nozzix looks around and says, "Oh, I guess my calculations were off." And you start to hear like a loud grinding noise. I think the city's hitting the mountains.
I feel like my eyebrows are gonna disappear into my hair. Huh?
What do we do?
Well, you got the well, so that's good.
Put it back?
My feet, my hands, my feet, my hands.
Well, we have to get that out of here safely. Right this way. He starts leading you out basically the way you came. As you're going up the stairs, you do notice there's another secret door to the side that's been like knocked open. You can see a little bit of light poking out. Are you going to stop and investigate that, or are you just going to?
I want to investigate. Can I peek?
Doesn't take much. Or poke your head in.
What do I have to roll?
Nope. No roll is necessary. Misplaced the thing I was looking for. I misplaced the thing I'm looking for. So as you look in, you see about a dozen elves. They're all effectively frozen in place as like bands of like purple and blue energy circle. And they look basically terrified. And they all have their hands out in roughly about the width that you would expect if they were trying to pick it.
Wait, what? Wait, one time? Sorry.
So there's a bunch of people in this room that are frozen and covered with magical energy. Now their hands are out as if they were trying to pick up the rock.
I roll around, I grab the guy by the neck, and I hold him against the wall with my arm on his throat, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
Everyone's a bad guy.
Who are you grabbing?
the dude, what's his name?
Grabbing Nozzix by his throat?
Yeah. By the fucking throat.
That will probably take a roll.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die.
I expected this. We're all going to die up here. I'm going to roll
Escape, motherfucker.
agility, strength. Can I roll more than one attribute, or do I have to pick an attribute?
It's one from each category.
All right, mastery. Because it says I rely on my deadly skills during this trying time, so I feel like this is the one.
Sure.
They offer you an egg in this trying time.
Yeah, strength. And then homesick assassin, which is another 8, and my acid, which is the elven sword staff. And sword play, which is the specialty.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Makes perfect sense.
All right, let me do my rolls. I'm going to roll so many die. All right. This one I really need a paper to write down what I wrote. I hitched on one of them. So I'm gonna do 8 plus 6.
All right.
So that's 14, and then my effect is a 10.
Yeah, you reach up and wrap your staff around his throat, and he stops and says, "What is the meaning of this?"
I actually said, "Dude, what the fuck?"
And he says, "What's the meaning of this?"
But okay.
So once
PG, I guess.
once you and Feathershaw get to your feet, you hear this screaming coming down from the from deeper inside, past the secret door. Feathershaw looks at you and says, "I think that was a collision."
I think what?
Feathershaw's talking to Janine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that didn't sound good. Are you all right? Are you injured? I think we need to go. But fortunately, one of my friends has the primordial well, and they're this way. We should probably go catch up with them so we can go save the city.
Yes, let's do that. They get up and start running, and they cast a spell as you step into that secondary chamber, shutting down the illusion magic, and lead you through. They'll get up there in just a moment. What are the rest of you doing now that...
Sorry, you broke up. What?
I was just asking what everybody else was doing now that you've got a hold of Nozzix.
I'm just holding this thing like a bomb, so I'm just very confused and just I don't know what to do with this.
Oh, you, Sarah?
I have no idea. I don't know what's supposed to be happening now.
Right on. At this point, Janine and Feathershaw come running in. Feathershaw says, "Give that to me!"
Right, come on, they can save the city.
No.
I don't know how to use it. You don't know how to use it.
I guess that's clearly a bad guy. Look at him.
So is this guy, though, so... Stabby.
Just start poking him a little bit.
He says, "I just wanted that to get out of here before the city falls down the side of the mountain. I surrender and I won't give you any more. And from what I've done to these poor people, they deserve punishment." but you can't let that person run off with it. It's got to be protected.
Wait,
I let him go.
All right.
I don't understand.
I kind of want to hit Janine in the head with like my fist to see if she knocks out of it.
He says, the Primal Well is our legacy, and it's got to be protected. And as he's about to go into another tirade, the entire building lurches again.
How are we going to get the fuck out of here?
I don't think we have a choice but to give it to them. They brought us here. We don't have any way to get out of here. We're on a fucking moving island. I think we kind of have to give it to them.
I agree. You, clearly the bad guy. What's your plan to get us out of here?
I basketball like chest pass it to him.
No, they're gonna die.
You pass it to them, and as soon as it hits them, you see like a blinding flash of purple light. And then it bounces to the ground as they're frozen like this, glowing with the same energy that you saw before. When the well hits the ground, you all need to make. Go ahead and give me an agility-based check, please.
The fuck?
I'm going with mastery for my value.
8. I guess 5 and 3, so 8 and then 3.
Oh, that's good. I rolled a 5 and a 6, so I'm at an 11.
And Sarah, you can add like a value, like.
I don't think any of mine apply.
Well, I mean, for example, like even if you wanted to run glory, like I don't want to look stupid, so I'm going to use my glory value. It doesn't even have to be like a value that you're good at. Like in your description of your glory value is like you're very much not out for seeking glory, but you can still roll that die as something. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess. I'll do that.
I rolled 15.
So you need to have a effect die.
Yep, you need to have an effect die. So if you only have 2 dice, you only need to count one.
A 4 and a d6.
All right. So you're thrown to the ground and suffer 1 injured stress. If you weren't already injured, it's D4. Otherwise, it steps up. What did you get on yours, Janine?
11.
You're fine. And what was your effect die?
My effect die? Well, I only rolled 2, but I rolled a d8 and got a 6 on it.
Okay, so it would have been a 6, which is different. So a 6 with what effect die?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
So you got a 6 on one of your dice and a 3 on the other, right?
A 6 and a 5.
Okay, what kind of die was the 5 on?
D6.
Okay, so it would be a D6 effect die with a 6 result, because you have to always have 1 effect die, because you only rolled 2 dice, right?
Yes. Okay.
Every time you roll 2 dice, only one of them counts.
Oh.
And then if you're down to a 1 die pool for some reason, your effect die is automatically. So that's different because you do fall. You take another injured condition if you weren't already. Or if you were, it steps up. And you got what, Melanie?
I got 15, and then my effect die was a 10.
Yeah, you're good. You catch yourself before. Did I get everybody, Mike?
I got an 8, and I got a 3 on the effect die.
All right.
All D8s.
All right. So yeah, you're fine too. You don't take any injury. But you also all notice now that this now that this has hit the ground, the city is definitely moving faster toward the down, like it's pushing down as this whole city starts to tilt. Like where this landed is pushing it faster toward the ground.
So If I pick it up, will it go slower?
It slows down when you pick it up. Yeah.
You have to put it against the opposite
to the normal pace of it slows down to the normal pace of falling.
Wait. So like, can you make the city like go down but slowly? So it like just kind of like lands and doesn't like explode?
Maybe if you put it in the ceiling.
Yes, I'm just trying to like play with it now because I'm like, wait, so like we can like control, like we can like move it away from the mountain, right? Essentially, I'm not gonna ask. Kind of like motion control the city.
Yeah, I mean it's worth a shot. How would you like to go about it?
Yeah, I'll walk in the different direction that wherever the collision was.
Just moving it doesn't seem to have any appreciable effect.
You need to place it.
Back in the thing, or what? Or like put it somewhere? Like we gotta like put it down somewhere?
What have we got ourselves into? I'm never going to
I'll put it down like away. I'll set it down on the floor for a second, like away from the collision.
Just in the nearest floor that's pointed in the direction away from the mountains. Is that what you're saying?
I guess because like it like landed on the ground and the city flew down, right?
Yeah, you set it on the ground and you feel the city start to tip, like it's going to go end over end down the mountainside.
Well, we're dead. Just pick it back up.
I feel like I have a parachute.
It straightens back up.
Where's the tomb?
Yeah, you're still in that stairwell right now.
So he's dead, or they're dead.
Feathershaw is frozen. Gnostics is basically just like weeping and like stressed out at this point. Like, I'm sorry for what I did. I'll have to face justice when we land.
How are we gonna land? I slap him like, pull yourself together.
Pull yourself together, man.
Why don't you take another angry stress if you don't?
I haven't taken any, so that's good.
You're Elastigirl.
So, any other places you want to try to stick this thing?
Can I pick it up?
No. I mean, I guess.
Like,
can we walk out of this stairwell first of all and like go like out to like open area?
Claudia will pick it up, sort of hoping that like her.
You can't pick it up.
Okay.
He's wearing a sheet like an armor. You will die. Don't pick it up.
Are you going to listen, or are you going to try to pick it up anyway?
I'll listen. I will sort of like look at it. Without touching and try and figure out, like, is there some way that I can use my knowledge of magic to harness this?
What if we toss it out of the island?
Go ahead and
go this way.
Roll your intellect, mage, and your magic specialty. Whatever value you think is best.
Just like soccer ball fluid.
Definitely glory.
You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. And out of this.
Another pitch. All right.
Damn.
So I'm adding 2 dice together to get a 16. And then my effect die is a D8.
Okay. And you got a hitch with that, right?
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and give you another PowerPoint. One idea occurs to you. That could solve.
I cast Dispel Magic.
Could solve could solve a couple of problems in one fell swoop. If you killed something big enough, you're pretty sure you could tap into this thing like it was like a elemental source and steer it.
Okay.
You're talking something like a horse or a person.
Or several frozen people.
Or the guy who is like weeping and begging for justice.
Yeah. Janine will, unless someone objects, and if you object, I totally understand, grab this guy by the hair, like pull a ritual knife out of her satchel, and just slit his throat.
Okay.
I mean, we're all gonna die anyway, so like, what's the enough? Either way, he's dead.
She'll probably say something like, "I'm really sorry, but this is the only way," and stab.
Right? And he dries up immediately, like the guy in Temple of Doom that picked the wrong grail. He just immediately immediately mummies up and falls to the ground. A full half of Janine's hair turns white, and her eyes start like glowing like black light. As she reaches out for the primal well. Go ahead and give me intellect, your value of choice, your mage distinction, and your magic specialty.
I think mastery applies for this one.
That's fair. And you can go ahead and also gain... We'll step up your corruption, which makes it a what?
My corruption is now a D8.
Excellent. And I'll go ahead and use that. So you can gain another plot point because I'm using that.
Yay. Oh, these are bad. So I got a hitch on my D8. Okay. So I'm adding a 5 and a 6 together for an 11, and my effect die is a D10.
Okay. You manage to connect yourself to it. You can direct it and give it orders. You understand that if you place it, like if you put it against a solid enough structure, you can push it in a direction.
I'm sorry, you cut out?
If you put it against a solid enough structure, you can push it in.
Okay. I'm going to just put it on the ground, because the ground seems pretty solid.
All right.
And use that, can I steer the city, like, gently towards the rest of the planet?
Not pushing.
We're not like landing on another like city too.
Like you can pull it away from the mountainside so that it's coming towards the ground. That'll buy you a little bit of time. You're going to have to effectively push against something upward to create like a parachute.
Okay.
And are you still? And just so that we're clear, you have not yet cleared the stairs, right? Like, because you killed this dude in the stairway, or did you?
Yeah, she's probably still on the stairs.
Okay.
And she'll probably, like, tell the rest of the group this. Like, I can control it, but only for so long.
So, can we just land the city safely and then... Where's it going to go after that? I mean, I guess we can just, like, evacuate the city, and this place is just, like, a bad horror story, you know? And we just... It's like Atlantis, but, like, opposite.
All right. You manage to steer it away from the mountainside and then move it up into the top of this tower that it's been in the keep that it's been stored in. And basically are able to guide it to the ground in a relatively safe fashion. Go ahead and let's have you make one more magic roll just to see if it lands without doing a whole lot of damage to the people.
I'm sorry, was that for me?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. What roll do you want to make?
The same spellcasting roll you just made. And
Hey,
are,
no hitches.
and are the rest of you going to take any actions while means calculating that? Are the rest of you going to take any actions to try to mitigate the damage to the people, to try to do anything with the townsfolk to get them to safety, to investigate what's going on out there, or are you just going to hang out and farewell?
I feel like I'm gonna run out and yell, "Listen up, people! It's gonna be bumpy, so grab onto something because we're gonna do like a emergency landing."
If you got a basement, go in it.
All right, I'll get to you in a minute. Sarah, are you doing anything while this chaos is happening?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, they're like, this is messed up. Mike, anything you're doing at this point?
I'm just assisting Ijal.
Right. So why don't the two of you make some sort of like a leadership or persuasion or social role of some kind, probably off of influence or spirit. And then what did you get on your roll, Janine?
An 8 with a D10 effect die.
Beautiful. Okay. Once Melina makes her roll, we'll resolve this.
What is the hinder thing?
You can sacrifice your 8 die and roll a 4 instead to then have a plot point later.
Okay, I'll do that.
Right, Travis did.
Yeah, you can. Basically, you deliberately step down your own trait to get it.
Okay, so I got 6, 2, and 2. The 6 is on D8, the 2 is on a D6, and the 2 is on that D4.
Alright, so you can go 8 with a D6 effect die.
Okay.
What'd you get, Melina?
I'm gonna roll now. I'm gonna roll like influence and justice. And I don't think I have anything else. Maybe if I have a song for all occasions.
Yeah, that'll work.
I hitched. So I hitched, so I got a 6, and then my acid was an 8.
Okay. So you come running out and you start like trying to shout directions, but you get distracted as you see like half the townspeople jumping off the side of the town on what appear to be hang gliders. You're like, oh, that was smart of them. It worked. Who knew? And you look over and you see 2 giant centipedes like rolling down the side of the mountain as if they were trying to climb onto the city just before you pulled it loose. Like giant, like 60-foot long.
Great. I love it.
I look at Winda, and then I look back at the centipedes like...
Maybe this town deserves to die. If these are here. Maybe we should have just left. We should have just not gotten off.
Well, it looks like when the city hit the mountainside, it knocked a hole into their nest and they came crawling out of the side of the mountain.
Yeah, but if like those things exist here, they should probably not. They should just,
Is this a pre-written adventure?
Yes.
Were centipedes in it?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
I'm terrified of them, and I don't appreciate it.
I am sorry. You're terrified.
I feel like Although I'm like kind of confused. I feel like finally I'm in my element and I get to kill something with my staff.
You walk over to the edge of the city as the ground is rushing up to meet you, and see the centipedes. Like they were in mid-reach trying to get onto the city when the city pulled away. So they just kind of fell. So they just kind of roll down the side of the mountain, and they splat when they hit the ground.
Oh, good.
As you start like gently landing.
Something good happens today. I love that.
And that's where we'll wrap things up for this week, for this session.
I feel like at this point I'm just gonna like sit cross-legged in the middle of the of whatever and just be like, well,
this is fine.
You managed to, despite yourselves, save most of the people in the city. Neither one of
we saved the day.
And neither one of the catalysts of the story made it out in one piece. And you committed a murder. So that's...
Yay!
It was regrettable but necessary.
To be fair, the guy did ask me to give it to him, and I gave it to him.
I mean, casual human sacrifice, justice, that's the same thing, really.
Right, yeah, it all comes out in the wash. So, questions, comments, complaints, concerns? Did you all have fun?
This is really fun.
Thank you for running.
Yeah,
So, like,
thanks for
did we fix it, or is there more?
We definitely didn't fix it.
I mean, you saved the townspeople. You got a hold of the relic. You don't know what to do with the relic now. So these characters would have this relic and no idea what to do with it. There are other people from the town that will have opinions on that. Yeah. But that would be another story for another group for another time, because this is a one-shot and we have shot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would assume there would be some, this new group of people trying to settle on their now ground-based home. See if they could salvage the city, or else, let it fall to ruin and resettle somewhere else. Somebody's got to figure out what to do with that artifact, but all the people.
And now they have this beautiful, mountainside view next to their city.
Yeah, it's true. But also
That's
you
the
had
infested mountainside.
There are other local NPCs that I'm sure would be interested in the artifact, but all that's a story that someone else might be able to run if they go pick up the Dragon Prince. You can pre-order the game now, I believe, if you go to talesofxadia.com. This is a lot of fun. I like the Cortex system. I'm still learning it, so I'm sorry if I was stumbly as I was figuring something out.
It's very strange.
I mean, we were all learning it.
It's strange, but it's cool. The things that it conveys are really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that how you feel about a thing is just as important to your success narratively as ability. Kind of cool. But next time I think we're going to play Savage Rifts. So that should be fun. I've been trying to play Rifts for years, and it's the system that Rifts originally was released under the Palladium system. Extremely complicated. It takes literal days to make a character. So very off-putting for a lot of people. I haven't got the hell out of it. It's that setting, but in the Savage World system, so the character is much less complicated. And the setting of Rifts, I'll get into it in detail next session. It's basically a post-apocalyptic. There was a big war on Earth, and most of the population died in a nuclear exchange. When that happened, all of the psionic energy from all those people dying activated all the ley lines, the magical lines across the planet, and opened rifts to different dimensions. All sorts of monsters came crawling out, and the world turned into a living hell, a transdimensional nexus of living hells, for several hundred years, and now society is sort of starting to rebuild itself through a number of factions. The players are all part of this group called the Tomorrow Legion that are basically heroes, chivalrous heroes of the... It's fun. It's super gonzo sci-fi. You can play anything. There's, like a meme is like a picture of a dude like riding a dinosaur with like a machine gun, and but they're dressed like
Nice.
like a Revolutionary War American soldier, and it just says like riffs ? It's like one of the memes about it because you can have that. You can have just whatever crazy gonzo shit you want. A lot of fun.
I was gonna say too. It sounded like a very like post-apocalyptic, like grim dark, and I was like, so it's gonna be a fun romp, but it could be, I guess.
It is because it's just silly and ridiculous. But that one will be fun, and that one might go 2 sessions because it's a bit of a longer story. But this was a really good time. I thank you all for taking the chance on a new system. And
thank you for running.
meeting characters and having fun. It was a good time. We'll be back 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
Same spot. We'll be playing some riffs. It'll be fun. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure to follow and subscribe if you haven't done so. And, get your vaccines and wear masks.
Yep.
See you around.